like, I'm feeling really burnt out with furniture.
Yeah.
I just am. And I have to be honest about that. I'm like, if I didn't make over furniture for like 3 months, I feel like I would be okay.
Welcome back to the Cypress Room, where we dive deep on influencing with integrity. I'm Meggie Honeycutt.
And I'm Christina Mascari.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. In today's episode, I have been a traveling fool. I've been lots of places. And we're back in the studio today, and I kind of wanted to do a recap of everywhere I've been and what I've learned, because I've learned so much stuff and I haven't even got to share all of it with you. So this is going to be an opportunity for me to share all the things I've learned at the events that I've been at. I was at the Better Homes and Gardens Stylemaker event in New York City. I also went to the Achieve conference in Waco, Texas with a bunch of other influencers and learned about growing my brand and how to make more money, which is always fun for everybody who is a business owner. And then coming off of our last episode, we were on a girls trip where Meggie was at that one.
I was there.
So we have thoughts about that as well. So we're just going to kind of go over like this last month of October, everywhere I've been and what I've learned.
Oh, that's exciting. You've been a conference queen and we need to know what you learned.
Yeah. But also, what are we going to have at the end of the episode, Meggie?
Oh, yes. Stay tuned to the end of the episode for our favorite things segment. We've picked out some of our favorite things that we have been loving over the past month, and we want to share them with you. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. So the first event we're going to talk about is the Better Homes and Gardens Stylemaker event.
Yes. So tell us what that even is.
Well, it is a gathering of influencers in the home design space, organizing, gardening, cooking, entertaining. Better Homes and Gardens has been around, I think, for like over 100 years, maybe 100 or 70 years. I need to look that up, but it's been around for a long time. If you are anywhere like in the same age as me as Meggie, I'm sure you remember seeing it in your mom's house or in your grandma's house. It has been like a staple in the publishing industry. And so once a year, they just gather influencers and people in the design space to just kind of show them what's coming down the pipe for the next year, all the things that they're working on, what they're seeing. And they just brought in some leaders in the industry that were just a huge encouragement as well. Now, if you're wondering, Christina, how did you get invited to this event? I don't really know, because sitting there with all those people, there were so many talented, amazing people. There have been people who have been published in the magazine. I have never been published in the magazine. Never met any of the editors, but I have friends that have been going there, and I was following along for the past couple of years. I'm like, this event looks really cool. So I did what I have been encouraging lots of people to do in my life lately, is shoot your shot.
Yes, you did.
That is like my thing that I say to everybody right now. Shoot your shot. What is the worst thing that can happen?
Absolutely.
So I followed the event last year, commented on the event, commented on the things that I was seeing. And then when they announced the event for this year, commented on that post on Instagram and said, I would love to be here. Like, I would love to come and check this out. So this looks amazing. You guys do it with excellence. And so from that comment, I think I got a DM a week later asking for my email to invite me to the event. So that's how that happened.
Yeah. See, that
So you
is
never know.
why. Shoot your shot, people, because you never know. And guess what? It's easier now than ever, because do we have to call people up on the phone to shoot our shot?
No, you don't.
No.
There's plenty of different ways.
You just send a DM, send that email, just ask for it.
Yeah, ask for it. And now because I've asked for it, I think I'm on the invite list. And once you get on an invite list, it's a lot easier to get an invite the following year. So we'll see. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have been there this year. It was in New York City. Their offices, their Meredith Publishing offices, they have an office in, Better Homes and Garden has an office in Iowa, but they also have like their headquarters for that whole publishing company is in New York. So it was at their offices in Soho, which was just really cool, because I haven't been to New York since I think 2003.
Wow.
Yeah. And I actually ended up getting to stay with a bunch of people that I didn't know, which was also very fun, because I had a connection with one of the girls from way back when. She designed my logo. We did guest spots on each other's blog. Her name is Bree Purposed. And she reached out to me and said, hey, we have an extra spot in this Airbnb type situation that we got. Would you like to stay with us? And I'm like, that's perfect. I don't want to have to conquer New York alone. I am a suburban Nashville mom. Like, I could do it. I used to do that back in the day, but it just made me feel more comfortable being like, okay, I have people to stay with. We can Uber together. I have people that I can go out to dinner with. So they gave me an invite to come stay with them. And now I got to spend the weekend with 6 really talented people that are all in different areas in gardening and design and everything. And they're mostly bloggers. So I got to sit around and hear how their business runs and how things have changed for them, how they focus on Instagram now and how they can make money on a blog, which is totally different than what I do. And I actually sat down and gave some girls like a snapshot of YouTube and how it works, because some of them have some videos and stuff. And so I was giving them tips on how to do their YouTube. So even before the event started, just having that community and connection point with people is just one of the things that I think is so important, especially in this business, is having face-to-face time with people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So what were your key takeaways from this event? What did you leave with, I guess?
Well, to start off the event, they started it off with Tabitha Brown. And if you guys are not following Tabitha Brown and don't know anything about her, I really encourage you to look her up. She came up in the pandemic era in 2020. She's an actress and has always been like a working actress and had jobs on the side. And she was going through a journey in 2020 of healing her body, and she became a vegan. But she also, has a long tradition of cooking and loves seasoning. She's from the South, so she's very into, not bland food, like loves seasoning and spices and things. So she wanted to take vegan cooking to like the next level and make it taste like really tasty, but still without the meat, figure out how to have those Southern flavors in vegan food. And, God told her to start sharing her journey on TikTok. And she started doing that. And her TikTok just blew up, because not only, I kind of call her like the Oprah of TikTok, because not only is she sharing something she's really passionate about and how food has healed her body, but she is just such a light. She's such an encouragement. And she didn't hit it big until she was like later in life. I'm not quite sure how she's either in her 40s or 50s. And that is when things took off for her. And now she has like a spice line with McCormick. She has her own natural hair care line that is now in Ulta and Target. So she was the opening speaker, and just hearing about how her life has taken off and how it all started off with just sharing her everyday stuff on TikTok, and hearing her say like, well, God told me to start doing this. And she's saying this like in a public platform at Better Homes and Garden. Like there's a different array of people. There are people that believe all different things, but her being so comfortable in her faith was just really beautiful and encouraging for me to see, because I feel like that's kind of the journey that I'm on as well. Yeah. And that just if that was the only thing that would have happened all day, hearing her speak, it was so inspirational. So if you're not following Tabitha Brown, go follow her.
Yeah, I had never heard of her until you came back and told me about her. And so I started looking up her stuff, and I think the word I would use for her is like magnetic. Mm-hmm. Somehow she has the ability to be real and relatable, but also to like draw people in and make them feel like they're in the room with her.
Yeah. And
which I love.
What she does really well is she's not afraid to talk about what's going on in the world and recognize that like, hey, I'm an influencer and I'm getting on here and I'm trying to share a recipe with you, but I know that there's some heavy stuff going on in the world right now. And it's not necessarily that she takes a stance on like every issue, but she recognizes that the issues are out there. Mm-hmm. And she says, hey, like, how are you feeling today? And just like, I don't know, it just kind of lets the tension out in the room and is like, that I'm a real person. Like I am experiencing and struggling things just the same as you. So I love that about her as well.
Yeah, that's so cool. So what did you learn about Better Homes and Gardens at Walmart? Because I love that line. And I think it is such a unique spot at Walmart. Mm-hmm. So how was that integrated?
That was a really fun segment in the day. Honestly, that was probably my favorite, like, design aspect that they had, because they had different people talk about entertaining and things like that. But that was my favorite session. They had one of their stylists come out from the magazine, and she had an assistant there, and they kind of talked about their journey of a mentorship and a mentee, which I loved as well. But they also taught us how to style for commercial versus styling for editorial. When you're doing editorial, you're really bringing in all these intricate pieces, and there's like a lot of things. And when you're doing it to just say like, hey, I want to sell this bookcase at Walmart and we need it to look really clean and we want to showcase the bookshelf, like, this is how we do more minimal staging. So that was really cool to see how their thought process is with editorial versus commercial and trying to sell something. And they just brought in all these beautiful pieces from Better Homes and Garden. I think Walmart is really stepping up their game, trying to compete with Target. And I love the partnership with Better Homes and Garden, because these people that run these magazines, they are the people setting the trends. Like, they know what is coming and how far out they work. I mean, they're working right now on the issue that's going to come out like in the spring. And so they already know what's going to be trending in spring, and taking that information and putting it into these items at Walmart that are affordable and attainable for people, I think is very, very cool to see. And I have been decorating a lot more with stuff from Walmart because I'm a Walmart creator. And so I'm like, well, let me see what they have, because everybody knows about Target and everybody knows that Target is a spot to go. And I just really feel like this partnership with Better Homes and Garden, they are really understanding what's going on, what's trending, and making it accessible and affordable for people that don't have a ton of money to spend on their home. So I'm really excited to see like the more and more things that are coming out with that line.
Yeah, me too. And I think the thing about it that most people don't realize is a lot of it's online. Like, I can't go to my Walmart store necessarily and see a bunch of it. So it's sort of different.
Yeah.
And Walmart.com is probably a very underutilized website because people are so used to being able to just hop in a store.
I know, but I love being able to just shop online, and with our Walmart Plus membership that you guys know that we love, a lot, if it is at the store, it will ship to your home, and it will ship in 2 days if it's not in store, if it's shipping from somewhere else, and it's free shipping and free returns. And actually, I don't know if you know this about Walmart Plus, but I do know this because I ordered a bunch of things, and the things that didn't work out that I sent back, they will send someone to your house to pick it up.
Really?
Did you know that?
I didn't.
You don't
know
even
that.
have to take it. Like, you
I've
can
been taking it to the store.
You can do that, because then you get your money back like right away. But you can call, if you're part of Walmart Plus, you can call and they will pick up whatever doesn't work, which is very cool. I just figured that out.
Cool.
I know. So I needed to share
I need to remember that for next time. So what else about Better Homes and Gardens event? Any other takeaways that we need to hear about?
Well, I have one more thing I want to share about the Better Homes and Garden line. Because what I love that they're doing is they are really utilizing influencers to showcase these items that are online. Because I know when you go online, it can be really overwhelming to be like, what can I pick, whatever. So all these Stylemakers they had there, they brought out their point person for this Better Homes and Garden line. And they're like, hey, I'm your contact person. Like, I'm already working on outdoor, which is crazy. They work so far ahead. Okay.
That is so far ahead.
So she's like, when you get home, if you live in a warmer climate, pitch me like in January and February. I need to showcase outdoor items. So that was crazy to see how far out they work.
Yeah.
But I love that they're utilizing the influencers buying these things online and then showing people how they can style them and use them. I think it's just very smart to get that type of content out so that it's easier for you to shop and see what's going to work in your home. So I love that aspect as well.
So will Pretty Distressed be pitching?
I'm trying because, you know, I have my daughter has a balcony off of her room that we have never utilized because it's just always like the last thing on my mind. And I'm like, this stuff would be perfect for out there.
Yeah,
so I'm already like, I need to get on that pitch to get to send that to them. Yeah.
Well, awesome. So after Better Homes and Gardens, you came home for 2 days and then jet set it off to Waco, Texas, to the Achieve conference. And I guess in my mind, I thought Achieve and Haven were same thing, but they're not.
They're not. They're different. Hi, Murphy. Murphy's here with us today. You guys are watching online. He loves to be a part of the Cypress Room. So if you haven't watched our episode on the Haven conference, it is a conference that I've been heavily involved with over the past few years, have spoken at. I'm on the advisory panel for that. It is a very large conference that is for DIYers and home decor and things like that, and just in this influencer space, showing you how to, you know, make a YouTube channel, how to blog, all the things, how to make money doing this, how to work affiliate sales. And so Achieve actually kind of came out of that a little bit a couple of years ago. The people who run Achieve have been at Haven and spoken at Haven before. But on the back end, they used to run these just weekends where they would invite like 10 or 15 influencers to get them together to kind of just support each other and share information that they have and try to support each other and grow their brands. And they have been doing that for a couple of years. And then they had a vision of being like, hey, I think this could be a conference and we need to invite more people into it. So last year was the first year for Achieve Conference. So it kind of came out of like that smaller community-based thing. So I think that's what's a little different between Achieve and Haven. Haven is very brand focused, and there's huge brands a lot at Haven, like Wagner and Ryobi and Home Depot and Benjamin Moore. And you have an opportunity to pitch yourself to those brands. At Achieve, it's kind of more about building that community and finding people that do what you do and sharing the information, sharing the success that you've had and how someone else can incorporate that into their business and help grow their business. So it seemed it's definitely smaller. There's about 200 people there, more of an intimate setting and more focused on business tools and business practices to grow versus kind of like that brand aspect and trying to pitch yourself and get brand deals.
So what tools did you walk away with? What were your biggest takeaways at Achieve?
I have some big takeaways, but before I get to those, my benefit of doing conferences, the thing that I get the most out of it is being around people that do what I do. And I know that sounds so simple and so basic. And why should I pay money to just go hang out with people for 3 days? But there's something about getting out of your home, getting out of your work environment, closing off all those distractions. There's something about investing in writing a check to go somewhere, to sacrificing something and just completely stepping away from your business for 2 to 3 days and being in person. I know we all love Zoom. I know you guys are watching on YouTube. I know we love just being able to consume content when we want to consume it, where we want to consume it, but do not disregard how important it is to gather in person with people face to face. It's just different. It is different. And I'm just a proponent of being in community with people and spending that time with them, spending that 8 to 9 hours a day with them, doing those 2-hour dinners. There's something that it's so good for my soul. And not only is it good for my soul, but I come back refreshed for my business and just recharged and ready to go. And again, I'm such a touchy-feely person. I know that's a touchy-feely answer, but those are always like the biggest things that I get out of going to conferences. And that's why I go over and over again, even if I think, oh, I have none of these topics sound interesting to me, or I don't think I want to go into that. Like, you cannot disregard the joy and just the lift of my spirit it brings to be in person with people.
I love that because I have such a different perspective of conferences. Like, to me,
do you hate being in person with people? Is it overwhelming?
To me, it feels very exhausting and like a lot harder than my day to day. But maybe that will change the more I go to them. Yes, it feels very uncomfortable to me. It's totally out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
To do those things and to be on and surrounded by people like all day long. Okay. I know. You like get energized.
I do get energized, but I'm an introvert, so I understand it. Like, when I come home, I'm still exhausted. And at night, like I think, you know what was different about this one is we always room together at Haven.
Yeah.
So there's never any alone time. Maybe next year we need our own rooms at Haven.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It is sad, though.
Kind of the fun part.
It is. Okay.
Too.
Because we know each other so well, I guess. But I did enjoy having my room where like nobody was there when I needed to go. And I did that several times don't get me wrong, several times during Achieve, I went to my room and I was just like, okay, I just need to be by myself for like 30 minutes. I skipped lunch like both days and just ate lunch in my room.
Yeah.
So I do get to a point where I'm like, okay, I need a little break.
Do you think that it helps combat feelings of burnout?
Yeah, because you're just sharing your stories of like, what are you going through right now? Like, what are you feeling? And I don't want to put anybody on blast with anything that they've shared, but I shared with people like, I'm feeling really burnt out with furniture.
Yeah.
I just am. And I have to be honest about that. I'm like, if I didn't make over furniture for like 3 months, I feel like I would be okay. I've just been doing it for so long, you guys, but I know, I just know I'm supposed to be doing it, and I do still love it, but it's just the grind of like making the video and like having the sponsorship stuff that I have to take care of, and making them happy, and just like it just feels very weighty sometimes. And like nobody is going to understand that but somebody else who is flipping furniture on the internet. So it's just like, it's so good for your soul to be around people that get you, because no matter like how much you share this with your husband or your friends or your family, like the people that really get it are the people that do the exact same thing as you. And this is like the only opportunity really to be together in person doing it. So
and all your friends were there this time.
Yes, I had lots of friends there. It was very fun, and I decided to vlog for the first time.
And how did you feel about that?
It was so uncomfortable and super cringy. I actually tried to vlog at Better Homes and Garden, and I quit like half a day in because I didn't know the people I was staying with. I didn't know a lot of people at the event, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, everybody's looking at me like I don't know, I can't do it. Plus the event was only one day, and I just wanted to take everything in, and I didn't know a lot, so I just wanted to connect with people that were there that I had never met before. I just loved seeing the ins and out of how publishing works, because I've never been at a magazine before, and talking to the editors and the people that work there was so interesting. So I was like, okay, I just can't. I'm giving up on the vlogging. But I committed to doing it there because I knew a lot of my friends were going to be there, and I wanted to have them on my channel. And Katie Scott was there as well, which is a fan favorite of the Cypress Room.
Love you, Katie.
And she decided she was going to vlog too. And we were even texting the night before. She's like, I unpacked all my vlog stuff. I'm like, no, I packed mine. I'm committed. I'm going to do it. And so then she repacked hers. So every time she got her camera out and was filming, I was like, oh, I'm going to film too. So like we encouraged each other in that. And it was really fun putting the vlog together. And I said, even if I don't do anything with this, even if this video doesn't do well, I have this sweet, sweet memory of all my friends.
I liked it.
And it didn't perform well, and I lost 40 or 50 subscribers off of it. Some people just don't want to know me, guys. It's okay. But like, if you don't try new things, you don't know. And I actually enjoyed doing it. So I might try to incorporate more of that stuff on my channel.
I enjoyed it. I felt like I got a fun snapshot of your trip. I thought it was fun. It always surprises me that people would go unfollow for doing something a little different.
I get it, because I have some videos that are so huge and they're so tutorial focused, and it really has nothing to do with me or my personality.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I know my personality is like too much for some people. Some people love my personality and that's why they're watching my channel, but sometimes it's just too much for people, and that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So I just find it funny because the more like I'm vulnerable on my channel, the more I lose subscribers. But it is what it is. I think that I would rather have people in my community that are there for me than just there for the information. So I don't know. I'm on a journey right now.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
For sure. But I like that you're trying some different stuff.
Well, thank you.
And I enjoy seeing your personality come out. I'm pretty distressed.
And let me ask you this, because you did watch the vlog. Did you get a sense of what Achieve was like by watching the vlog, or was it kind of more just like seemed like it was fun?
I think I got a tiny snapshot of what it was like, but I more liked seeing you and your friends. Your furniture flipping friends. That was probably more what I took away from it.
Yeah.
But I know those people, and I love every one of them, so it was fun to see you guys all together there.
Yeah. And I do have a couple of tools that I want to talk to you guys about that I think would be really influential for you if you are, building a brand and doing affiliate marketing and doing content creation. But I have one more touchy-feely story.
Okay,
before we move on. So I have been the conference was in Waco, Texas. If you don't know about Waco, Texas, it's where Chip and Joanna Gaines are from. It's where they have built their whole Magnolia empire. They have stores down there. They have just really boosted up that economy down there. It is a university town, so it's a very smaller town, and just all the excellence that they have brought into there is very cool to see in person. And on one of the days, me and Katie ended up going to a vintage store and shopping around the vintage store on this cute little trolley, and they dropped us off at the silos real quick. We didn't even plan on going there because everything was closing down. And I'm walking around there and we're vlogging and stuff, and I'm standing in the middle of this green area that they have right in the silos, and I just had this memory of like, oh my gosh, Christina, you have been here before. And so I just went back. I had been there in 2016. Okay, at this point, Pretty Distressed was a thing, but I was kind of mostly just, I think, blogging. I've maybe done a couple of YouTube videos, but I was not a full-time content creator. I had just had my third child was a year old. So that whole year I did nothing with Pretty Distressed. I don't even think I flipped any furniture because I had a newborn and I had 2 other kids that I was taking care of, full-time stay-at-home mom and a husband that traveled. And I remember I was just kind of searching for, God, what is my calling? What is my purpose? What am I doing? And I was doing a lot of volunteer work at that time. I was actually serving women with unplanned pregnancies at my church and leading them through this course and throwing them a baby shower and just supporting them along their journey of having an unplanned pregnancy and maybe not having a partner in their life to help them. And I went down to Texas, to Dallas, because there was a conference. The church that whole curriculum was based out of was having like a women's conference. And I was just like feeling, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm taking care of these 3 children. What am I doing? And my husband was just like, I think you just need some time to like get away. So I went to this conference down there in Dallas and I flew in a day early. And he said to me, if you're going to Dallas, Waco is like an hour and a half away. Like, you should really go down there for the day. And I'm like, no, by myself, that seems silly. He's like, you need to go. Because at that time, like, Joanna was such a huge inspiration.
Yeah, you loved
to
Joanna.
so many people. Yeah. And she was one of the reasons why I started painting everything white in my home and distressing it. She was just a huge inspiration to me, along with Annie Sloan. Those were probably the 2 people that were so influential in me starting this brand and this business. And so I went down there just to experience it and took a picture like out there in Instagram. And I remember I went live on Facebook because back in the day, that was probably where my biggest following was on Facebook. So I went live on Facebook to be like, hey, Pretty Distressed followers, look at where I am. And so when me and Katie got dropped off there, I'm standing out in that green space and all of a sudden it hit me like, whoa, like I was here 7 years ago and just looking back at why I was there for this conference, like what God has done for this brand, the opportunities that I've had, the financial provision, just the people that I have encouraged, the people that have encouraged me, just like, and that wasn't even a dream or a thought, an idea in my heart when I was there 7 years ago. But I just remember when I was there in 2016, I just had this surrendered heart of, God, whatever you want to do, like I am here. Like, I just want to do what you want me to do. And I had no idea what that was going to be. And so seeing 7 years from now how he actually already knows what he wants to do for you. And and all you have to do is say yes when he asks you to do something. Like, I always talk about the faithfulness of God, but in that moment, just seeing it, like literally seeing it, and him giving me that moment, because I wasn't supposed to be at this conference, you guys. I was going to New York and I was like, there's no way I can do both of these things, like financially and with my husband's schedule. How is he going to take care of the kids and do all these things? And it just so happened that, I was like, I think I'm supposed to go to both of these. And my husband's like, okay, if you think you're supposed to go and God says to go, go. And I literally think that that's the main reason that I went, is he wanted to show me, like, look at what I've brought you through. So whatever you're believing me for today, like even with this podcast, if you don't see where it's going to go or what I'm doing in it, just know that I am faithful and I have a plan and I'm working behind the scenes. Like, it was overwhelming. I like went down to my knees and Katie was standing next to me and she just kind of took off. Because she's probably like, what is going on with Christina? But she knows me. She knows I'm an emotional person. She knows how spiritual I am. She is very supportive of that, even though that is not her journey. And so she just like went away while I was having my moment crying.
That is so beautiful. I love to hear that that's a full circle moment, and it encourages me on our podcast journey.
I know, in the journey, it's like we always want that instant gratification these days.
Yeah.
Everything's so, we want the microwave miracle. Just our attention spans are so short. You see the how viral people take off, how quickly they take off, and the success that they have.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, who's that girl that has that crazy successful podcast now that interviewed Drake and
Oh, Bobby
name?
Altoff.
Bobby Altoff. So like we see those things, we see those people take off. Alex Earl, we're going to talk about her in a later podcast. You see those people take off and you're like, well, that's not happening for me. So is this not what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this not my purpose? And so I just really needed to hear, like, look at what I did in 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long, 7 years is a long time.
It is. It is. And we want to start things with the end result, like knowing what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's about the journey part.
And if you would have like come up to that mom of the baby that I had just like stopped nursing and in the middle of that field in the silos and be like, guess what? In 7 years, you're going to be back here and you're going to have taught classes on YouTube and you're going to have your own LLC and you're going to have brought in this much money and you're going to have this many views on YouTube. Like I would have never, like, first of all, it was not my dream. And second of all, I would have never believed you. But it's just the little pieces of obedience along the way of saying yes to things that brought me to that point. And don't get me wrong, like that's not the end goal. It's really not, because you're never going to be finished. Like there's no amount of views or money that is ever going to fulfill me as a person. And that's something that I've had to learn over these past 7 years. But as long as I believe that I'm walking like in the will of God and what he has for me, that's enough for me. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's also you partnered with what God was doing and you did the hard work too. That's part of it. I don't think it's like poof magic like over 7 years. There was a lot of hard work, not just in creating the content, but
and a lot
internal work and failures and perseverance and lessons learned and conflict resolution and moving through issues. And it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot
that happened in 7 years.
There are so many things.
God's good.
God's good. So, he's faithful.
Okay.
Sorry. Touchy feely story.
I had to add that in there. Story. But now you have to share with us, because I know there's specifically one tool that you came away and implemented almost immediately.
And I am seeing success in it.
Yeah.
And it is giving me a spark. So I definitely want to share that with you guys today. And it is called Deeplinking. So I'm going to have to explain a little bit about what that is, because it's kind of complicated, but
it's
complicated, but I'm going to tell you why you need to be doing it, because I have seen success already in just a couple of weeks of implementing it. And okay, so if you are on Amazon affiliates, we're just going to talk about Amazon because it's the biggest one. I think it's the one that you can make the most money on right now, because a lot of people shop on Amazon. I'm not going to say everybody, a lot of people shop on Amazon. So this is the one that I think you can see the most benefit in right away. If you have an Amazon affiliate, when you're sharing products on your social media, wherever that might be, you go in, you find a product that you like or that you're using in a video, and you can get an affiliate link for that. When you share that affiliate link on your social media, it actually opens up the Amazon website,
which is no good.
Do you ever shop on the Amazon website?
Honestly, when it opens the Amazon website for me on a product I'm interested in, I usually just copy the description, go over to my Amazon app and paste it in, because I'm not logged in on the website.
Yes.
But I'm logged in.
But you're logged in
on my app, which is where I do all my Amazon shopping.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here's the point. This deep linking is going to force open the app.
Which is
huge, because what Meggie just described, if she sees me using a sander and she clicks on that sander, oh, it's not open in my app, I'm going to copy this and take it over the app, I get no sale for that. I get no credit for that sale. So I influence that sale. Amazon does not know that, and I get no credit for it, which is disheartening.
Yeah, so, it is.
What some companies have done, and we have a couple of options here. A new one just launched literally yesterday. So this is good that we have some competition in this area. But there are companies that are doing this deep linking service for you. So the one that was at the conference at Achieve is called URL Genius.
And we'll put these links in the description box for you.
So you can check it out. So URL Genius is a deep linking service. So when I go get my Amazon affiliate link that I want to share, I go ahead and put that in URL Genius. They create a separate link. It's so much extra work, you guys, but it's worth it. So just hang with me. So they create a deep linking link so that when I share, we're going to just say a sander. When I share a sander on my Instagram, share that link that I have done through URL Genius. When someone clicks on that, it is going to force open the Amazon app. It takes them out of Instagram and it forces open the app. So if that person adds that to their cart, or they click on, something else and put it in their cart, as long as they check out within 24 hours, and as long as they have not clicked on another influencer and added something to that cart, I get credit for that whole cart. So I have an opportunity to earn on whatever they check out in within 24 hours. Now, if you didn't deep link, all it does is take them to the Amazon website in Instagram. It does not take them out of Instagram. So you literally have to make that sale right there, because if they close the Instagram app, there is no cookie. So not only is this forcing open the app where someone already has their information saved, you're more likely to get a conversion. It's actually taking them out of the Instagram app. It clicks like, you are leaving Instagram. Do you want to do that? So they leave. You get a 24-hour window cookie, which is a huge difference of someone having to make the purchase right then and there.
Wow. And you need to do this, though, for every link.
You have to do it for every link. But what is good about it is that on the back end in URL Genius, you can see what people are clicking on. So you're getting a little bit more analytics, which is helpful because you can share that with companies down the road. You can be like, look at how many people have clicked on this one thing that I shared when you're trying to go for those brand partnerships. So that's
some good analytics.
It's some good analytics. And then you can see on the back end of Amazon, like who actually converted. So again, that's even deeper information that you can share with a brand to show how much like sales you've influenced of a product if you're pitching yourself to work with them in a brand partnership aspect. But the catch is this is not a free service.
Bummer.
So it's 2 cents per click. Every time someone clicks on your URL Genius click, it's 2 cents per click, which I know sounds like a lot, but I'm just going to give you the example of what's happened for me. When I came home from Achieve, I went in and looked at my top selling Amazon items for the past like 60 days. And anything that I found in there, like my number one thing was my Wagner tent that I use for spraying to protect the garage. That was my number one. So anywhere I knew that I had that Wagner tent in a YouTube video, I went back and switched that to all URL Genius links. Then I also took my top 10 videos on YouTube and I updated all those links. So my videos that are getting a lot of views continuously, those are the ones that I tackled first. Obviously, going forward, I'm only going to use URL Genius links, but to think about how can I make more money today, I need to go back to my content that is performing really well and update all those links. So I did all of that the first week of October, and I have had a banger of a month on Amazon.
Smart.
It is the most I've ever made on Amazon affiliates. I'm seeing 2 to 3 times more sales and conversions than I normally see.
Wow.
And I haven't even really created a ton of content in October. So it's really encouraging to see like this actually works, but you do have to go in and do the work.
Manually. Yeah.
And I will just tell you, like, I'm just going to share kind of some numbers. I can't share exact numbers because Amazon doesn't like me doing that. But so far this month, I think I've spent around $100 with URL Genius. That's how many clicks I've got. I've spent $100. I've had to pay them $100. But I've almost made I'm pretty close to making over $2,000.
Wow.
In actual like money commissions from Amazon, which is the highest I've ever made in a month. So and the month's not even over yet.
Yeah. And the return is worth the investment.
It is. And just so you know, when you first start with URL Genius, you get 500 clicks for free. So you can see like if you're seeing more conversions, if it's worth to like put your credit card in and pay for the service. They do have a service where you can get unlimited clicks for $200 per month. But as you can see, like I'm not even close to that. I've only spent $100. So it's not worth it for me to make that switch. And when you do that, I think you have to sign a year contract, but it's definitely worth just checking into. And the great thing is that there's competition coming.
So tell us about the competition.
Yeah. So the new one that just came out this past week is called Riverlinks. And it is brought to you by Chris Loves Julia. They are a huge influencer couple out there that have over 1 million followers on Instagram. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of them or probably follow them. So they were seeing this issue themselves. So they've been working on their own platform to do this. So they also have one. And I think theirs, you'll have to check into it. We'll put the description down below, but you can get 300 free clicks a month. So if you're new, that might be a better one to start off with. I have no relationship with either one of these companies, so I don't get anything if you're using these links. I just want to share the information with you because we're all about like not gatekeeping, and I want to see you grow your business. And I believe that there's enough to go around for everybody. And I've seen success in deep linking when you just do the work and put the work into it. So you might not see the results right away if you don't have old content like me that's evergreen on YouTube. That was where I saw like the huge success. But if you keep, doing it on Instagram, I think that you are going to see a difference in your affiliate sales on Amazon specifically.
Yeah, I love that tool because, if you're putting in the work and not getting the credit for the conversions, like that's heartbreaking to think that there's probably a lot of influencers who aren't getting credit for the conversions they make because just they need a different link.
I know. And I had no idea about this until the first time I ever heard about Deeplinking was at Haven. And so I'm someone who's like entrenched in this business, has been a full-time content creator, listens, to a lot of different stuff to stay current. And it just goes to show it's another reason why you need to be connected to people in your community, why you can't just be isolated. Because if I would have never heard about this, I just kept hearing about it. I'm like, it sounds like too much work. I'm not going to do about it. And then finally being able to meet with URL Genius in person, and everybody's telling me, I've had 2 to 3 times more conversions. And I went and talked with them. I'm like, I'm not seeing that. And they opened up my channel and they're like, let's do this. And I kind of came up with the thing of like, well, what if I figure out what's selling and update those links first? And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good strategy. And it actually worked. I was kind of shocked because I was skeptical about it, but everybody kept saying like I'm making 2 to 3 times more than I was by just doing this one extra step. It's annoying.
Right. Yes, but at the same time, that little bit of extra work it's another passive income source.
Yeah, it is.
Just generating in the background.
Right.
And $2,000 is nothing to poo-poo or
definitely not.
I mean, that's significant.
I would love to be able to do that every month. It is a little bit of an anomaly because this month they did have some Amazon Prime days.
Okay, but next month, what do we have? We have Black Friday sales, and then Christmas is right around the corner.
Yeah.
If you're going to think about doing it or try it out, I would say now is an amazing time.
Yeah.
Because if you wait till January, that's maybe not as great of a time.
Yeah, probably not.
So, I love that tool. And like I said before, all of the links, we'll put those in the description box. And if you have more questions about that or want us to do like a deeper dive into those kind of tools and deep linking, put it in the comments. Maybe that's an idea for a future episode.
Yeah.
Well, so what was your final trip of your whirlwind month there?
Wait, I have one more tool to talk about though.
One more.
I do.
I skipped ahead
It's
too
okay.
fast.
It's okay. So I actually do learn content at these conferences.
I don't socialize.
I don't just go for a good time, but I do love talking to all the different people. So the other class that I took is led by one of my friends, and her name's Danny at Second Chance Ohana. She was in my vlog. She taught a course on how you can make money on the back end, again, of Amazon by creating review videos.
I know. This blew my mind.
I know. We need to create review videos.
I know. I need to take your class, Danny.
Okay. So, and actually Danny has a course on this, and I'm going to put her information in her course down below if you're interested in checking it out. I think she has a trailer so you can see everything that is offered in the course if you really want to dive deep into this, because I only have a very peripheral view of what this is. But if you're already an Amazon affiliate, if you're in the Amazon influencer program and you have a storefront, you have the opportunity to earn money on Amazon by making review videos. So what you do on your back end, there's a section where you can submit 3 videos, and it gives you all the criteria of what they have to be. But you basically have to review a product that you own.
I have lots of Amazon products.
The exact product that is offered on Amazon. It can't be similar. It has to be the exact product. I'm just going to use the example of my coffee machine because everybody knows I love my Breville Barista Touch. So I could make a video of my Breville Barista Touch, go through, here's all the aspects of it. Here's all the different coffee it can make. Here's walking you through a coffee. Here's cleaning it. I've had this for 3 years. This is how it stopped working. It doesn't have to be all positive. It's just a review of like what would be helpful for someone who's trying to purchase this item on Amazon. What would they want to see? So you need to make 3 of those types of videos. Submit them on the back end. Amazon does all these things where they will review, okay, are these in line with all the guidelines that we have? And once you upload those 3 videos and you get approved to earn on-site commissions, after that point, you can upload like 10 videos at a time on different products. Amazon will place those videos down in the section where you see like, here's somebody reviewing this. If someone watches your video and then purchases that item, you get a commission off of it. So it's like not having to put it on social media, not having to promote it. You're literally just reviewing everything in your home that you have that's from Amazon, tagging it appropriately on the back end, which is, I'm not going to go into that much detail. If you want to know about how to do that, that's all in Danny's course. You can earn commissions doing that.
Wow.
And there are people that are doing this full time.
Wow.
Full time and making like thousands of dollars off of it.
Wow.
Yeah. By
That's
just reviewing the
incredible.
items that are in your house. But I will warn you one thing, because I can see people doing this. You cannot purchase an item from Amazon, review it, make a video, upload it, and then return it. Amazon can tell that you're doing that. So it has to be, it doesn't have to be something that you purchased off of Amazon. But if you do purchase it off of Amazon and you make a video and you tag that thing and you try to send it back, that is not going to work. They will flag you
Okay.
and you will get kicked out of the program. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I can see. I mean, that's what I would think to do.
Yeah. And you can't do
too.
that.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do that. No.
But I guess that also helps, it be more real. Like,
yeah.
These are things people are actually
You can't
purchasing
just,
and using in their homes.
Yes. And you can't just buy something and return it. So there are lots
Okay.
of rules. Amazon has a lot of rules these days. And we had talked about it earlier. Like if you say things like, DUPE.
Yes.
I don't even want to say it on here because I'm afraid they're going to take our Amazon storefront
I
away.
know.
Because
Yes.
Cypress Room got approved for a storefront, so we're going to be building that out. We're very
Yes,
excited.
we are.
we got qualified through TikTok, and we
Yes,
have
we
like
did.
18 TikTok followers. So
Well, I think we are up to 24.
Okay,
But still.
so if you haven't applied to be an Amazon affiliate yet, it doesn't seem like you have to have a super big following. And I don't know if maybe they're prioritizing TikTok because it's like the new and upcoming thing, or I don't know. But so it's worth just trying, no matter the size of your following.
Absolutely. And I love that Achieve seemed to focus on here's all the ways you can make money.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different ways. We would have never known about that if you hadn't have gone, that you don't have to have a huge following anymore to make a good income. There's all these different ways of linking products, doing reviews, that can make you a good income before you have a large following, which I think is so cool.
Yeah. And for me, I know I don't have the time to be making those review videos right now, but if I get to a point where I'm like, I don't feel like making content anymore, but I still have the skills of making content, that it's another opportunity. It's another stream of income that you can think about. And if you have like a spouse, or if you have children that are over 18, if your children are under 18, they can help you. They just can't be on camera.
Yeah.
So, or if you just have people in your sphere that, if you have friends that are kind of looking for some part-time work, like pulling
It's a
this
good
into
side
that, it is.
hustle.
And if you have people that like to edit, I mean, these videos don't have to be really well produced. They just have to be full of good information and actually reviewing the product. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
It's a good opportunity.
Yeah. But Danny is the person for all your questions and things. And so, she's a friend and she's very talented. So I'm going to share her information and her course down in the description box if you want to learn more about doing those Amazon review videos and possibly making money on them.
Yes. I think I'm going to take her class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
should.
want to learn how to do it. See if I can throw up some reviews on our storefront.
Well, your whole house is from Amazon, so I think it would be a good place to start for you.
True story. I can review these chairs we're sitting in are from Amazon.
We could review the microphone.
Headphones.
We can review a Cricut.
Wow.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless. You just gotta like to make content because it's gonna be a lot of videos.
Yeah, it would be a lot of videos. Okay. So is that it about Achieve, or are we
That's it about
missing
Achieve.
anything else?
No, that's it. There's more, but we can just talk about things as they come up. Those were my huge key takeaways
They're big.
of going. So obviously, I think it's worth the money to invest in a ticket like that. I will put Achieve information down as well if you want to buy it. It's the cheapest price you can get the ticket right now. I don't think they have a location or a date yet, though, so you're kind of going in blind. But as they announce information, we'll let you guys know, and we'll update the description box whenever they have a date and a location for next year.
Awesome.
But it was definitely worth it in my book. I loved it. Had a great experience.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And your husband survived
He did.
3 whole weeks.
He did lots of dance buns, and I think my mom brought him a casserole once, but he got everywhere where they needed to be and still did his job. So I was very thankful for him.
Yeah,
that was hard work.
amazing.
Yeah.
And so our final trip
Was for fun.
was for fun, not for work.
Which you got to see because we did a podcast from
We
Florida.
did
We did
do
a girls trip.
A podcast from Florida with our friend Melissa, on location on our girls trip, and it was super fun.
It's our annual girls trip. Do you want to talk about that?
So, her husband made this joke last year when we were talking about our birthdays that he said, well, aren't you guys going to go on your annual girls trip? And we laughed so hard because we've gone on one
trip, and it was in 2020.
In 2020 when we turned 40. So we said, well, since it's annual, let's get it booked.
We're going to start making it annual.
So we booked our girls trip with our friend Melissa, who you got to meet on our last podcast.
It's so full of wisdom.
For sure. Had 3 days of relaxation.
Yeah.
And beach time, pool time, eating good food, all the things.
Well, and what was really, I think the only thing I wanted to touch on the girls trip, because you got to see an insight into our relationship in the last podcast, but that, I went into it being like, oh, this is going to be so relaxing and I don't have to think about anything and it's just going to be fun and I'm just going to be drinking my tequila seltzers and eating food. And it got very deep. And I think everybody had a day where they were just working through some things and we just were away from our family in the hustle and bustle. And I don't want to say we all had a breakdown, but we all did kind of have a breakdown. I don't have a better way to describe it besides like we all had a day where we were just kind of feeling overwhelmed by something that was going on in our life.
Well, and here's what I think that is that we're all so busy and keep going in the daily grind. And then we went on this vacation and finally it's just quiet and peaceful. And then that's when the stuff kind of reared its ugly head. And yes, each one of us sort of had a moment that we had to, where it came up and we were able at least to be together and push through it together and pray for each other and speak words of wisdom and kind of, move through the moments as they came up.
Yeah. And it's funny because we spent like a lot of time in prayer. And I know that sounds like probably so weird to you guys. And like, that doesn't sound like a fun vacation.
Yeah.
But it honestly, like it really was. But I was a little exhausted when I got home because I feel like emotionally we went through a lot of things, but there were things that we needed to go through and talk about. And it was a safe space to do that. And I don't know. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just like I think what I learned from our girls' vacation is like sometimes vacation is not just about like escaping because I think that's what I've always like thought of vacation as, and that like that's going to be so refreshing to my soul. But honestly, it's more what happened was more refreshing. But in the moment, I was not feeling that way, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, it was
especially on our last day when it rained the whole day. I was pissed, y'all. When it rained, I was like, I am so mad right now. Like, I am so mad. And they're like, let's just do the podcast. It'll be great. This is how it was supposed to happen. I was like, okay, but I am mad.
That's true.
It
was very true.
Just being honest. But we did have some beautiful days at the beach and at the pool and
ate some really good food.
Some good food.
Had a few drinks.
Yeah.
It was fun. But yes, it felt like therapeutic at the same time.
We went on a therapy retreat instead of just cocktail fun. But I don't know. I guess it's just like it just shows me how sometimes things change as you get older and evolve in life. Like things aren't always going to look the same way. I don't know. It was very interesting experience.
Yeah, I guess it showed me to the importance of just slowing down sometimes and quieting the noise and taking yourself out of the daily hustle and grind. Because I do think that's where sometimes when we're going through stuff, it gets lost or like pushed aside. And so when you do take the time to just be quiet and be with people that you feel loved by and safe with, then it's a safe place for those to come up and you can kind of move through it.
Yeah.
So
can't wait for the next year's annual girl trip.
Yes.
Just putting that on the calendar, babe. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. I feel like we've been going for a while, so we better get to our favorite things.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. My favorite thing this week is my Laneige lip mask. Something you probably don't know about me is I used to do Aquaphor every single night before bed.
Wow.
I always have.
Dry?
Yes, I have severely dry skin.
Okay.
And so I've always put something on my lips before bed. And last year I got the little Laneige lip mask for Christmas, and I replaced my Aquaphor with that, and I absolutely love it. And I have to say, the little pot from Christmas, I'm just now like hitting pan at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
So it's maybe a little spendy. I think I got mine on an Amazon Prime sale for $18, but normally I think it's $22. But yes, I love it. And I get it. It's such a perfect gift for people too, when you don't know. Maybe you're getting a gift for somebody, but you don't know them that well. It's like a perfect little get them, a spa headband and a lip mask. And it's like the cutest little gift. I've been getting it for all my daughter's friends because, they're in junior high now and they're all into like skincare and getting stuff from Sephora. So it's a great gift as well.
Oh, that's
my favorite thing.
I love that. Well, mine is going to be, since I traveled so much this month, something that just came in handy. And it's pretty affordable, is my travel bag. I got it from Amazon. And the reason I love it so much is because they have different sizes for different size laptops. And I have the big, like 16, 17-inch laptop. And it's the only bag I've found that my laptop can fit in, but it's still cute. It has that backpack style, but it's also the doctor bag. So it opens on the top and it has a handle on the top that you can hold it with. And then the lifesaver for me, because I'm on my phone all the time, cutting videos, editing videos, like at the Better Homes and Garden event, my phone was going to die halfway through because I was trying to make like reels and stories while I was at the event to put them up. And I have this travel battery pack. And the thing that I love about my backpack is that it has a port on the side. So it actually has a place where you can fit the battery. You just stick your wire out the port on the side, and then you can have it really accessible whenever you just need to plug in your phone real quick. And it's basically like having an outlet in your backpack. I don't know why it has taken me so long to have a travel battery, but those two things saved my life at Achieve and at Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah, I love my portable battery pack.
Yeah.
It saves me every time I travel. So that is such a good travel hack. Invest in one if you don't have one. We'll put the links below for all of our favorite things.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it for today.
That's it for today. Thanks for going down memory lane for my whole month. I think there were lots of good things emotionally, spiritually, and practically that you can put towards your business. So thanks for being here with us today, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time in the Cypress Room.